The sheet you see in front of you right now is the one that we went over in class about the precedents set by Washington. And so all I need for you to do is to make sure that you have this filled in correctly, because there was an assignment attached that goes with this sheet. So basically the first thing we're going to talk about is the establishment of cabinet. Then we're going to talk about term limits, some of the idea that he didn't really like fancy titles, the oath of office, and then the social life of the president. So the first two that I want to talk about would be the establishment of the cabinet with the 4 advisor positions. Those would be Secretary of State, Secretary of the Treasury, Secretary of War, which today is Defense, and then Attorney General. So that was part of the precedents that were established by Washington because they weren't originally in the Constitution. He did ask Congress for this, and they did oblige him by creating these positions. The second one that deals with term limits is that Washington would only serve 2 terms, and then he would step down. Other presidents that came after him, if they were successful enough, they would serve 2 terms, and they would then step down. The only person that did not do that was FDR. FDR was Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and he was president during the 1930s and 40s. So he led us through the Great Depression and then into World War II. So he's actually elected to 4, but he dies early into his 4th term. After that, there is a constitutional amendment that actually makes it part of the law today that presidents are prohibited from serving more than 2 terms. The next one is talking about titles of nobility, and we discussed that in class, and you also read about it where there were such crazy ideas of His Highness, His Mightiness, all those other things. And of course he says, no, just call me Mr. President. So those were the things for that. Finally, the last 2 are the oath of office, which is actually found in Article 2 of the Constitution. And it is a small oath that presidents are required to say. They take an oath, and then what Washington did was he added the 4 words that you see on the screen. So help me God. And every president ever since then has basically issued and uttered those words. Lastly is the social life of the president. And he felt that this was very important because he would sort of set the tone for what other people would do when they would be president of the United States. And so what he tried to do was basically be as reserved and kind of, proper as he could be. And that's basically what we should have in there. So that is what I wanted to kind of cover with this little short screencast.